Welcome to The Informer, and today we're talking with Mr. Quordiniah Lockley. Mr. Lockley is the former city administrator for the City of McComb, and we have the wonderful pleasure of speaking with him. Hello, Mr. Lockley, how are you?
I'm wonderful.
Wonderful, you're looking good today.
Well, I'm dressed in work clothes, should I say.
Very good. Well, we wanted to have a conversation with you because we believe that the people of the area would love to be informed as to what has occurred concerning you. But before we get to that point, we want to just learn a little bit about Cordelia. Maybe someone don't know Mr. Lockley or don't know him. Tell us who you are. What are your experiences here in government or in administration?
Okay. First, let me simply say that I was born and reared in Macomb, grew up in the Utopian projects, uh, and finished at Macomb High School in '72. Went to Alcorn State University, finished with a degree in '76. In '76, I was called into the ministry. I've been in the ministry now for over 39 years. I've pastored for 17 years. My home membership is at Walker's Chapel, Free Baptist Church, where I grew up. Been very active in the community. Was the second elected black official on the city board for the city of Macomb when, at that time, Select Theodore Bullock decided to run for supervisor. He was elected, and I replaced Theodore. After the 2.5 years that he had remaining, I ran for a full term, and I completed that full term. Uh, Not only did I go to Alcorn, I went on to further my education first at Indiana University, where I pursued or started to pursue my master's in public administration. Came back to Jackson State '81 to '83, completed my master's in public administration at Jackson State. Taught at Tougaloo College for 4 years, taught in Pinellas County, Florida for 4 years, taught at Macomb High School for 4 years, have worked as the deputy director for public works for the city of Macomb for 6.5 years. Went back to Jackson State to pursue a doctorate in public administration, completed 30 hours toward a doctorate in
Quite
public administration.
impressive. Really impressive. Really impressive, Mr. Lockley. I'm learning a lot about you myself, and I'm sure a lot of the people of the area did not know all of this about you. There's a lot that is being shared concerning what has occurred downtown in the administration office, and we're hoping that you could tell us a little more about that situation or what may have occurred, what led to it. So, exactly what occurred.
That's a good question. I wish I had all the answers. Let me simply say that in 2009, I came in as the city administrator. Found a city at a point of near bankruptcy. Found a city that did not have clear uh, uh, internal or checks and balances. Uh, Many things, morale was low and all that. I came in and had to revamp a system, put things in place. I took a city from being nearly bankrupt to having a surplus of nearly uh, $3.5 to $4 million. Uh, I was able to initiate and get passed through the board minimum wage of being at least $10 an hour. Uh, Work to maintain everything that we have, keep our employees, keep them employed with their benefits. Um, Encouraging the board not to have our employees to contribute to benefits. Uh, believe in safety. I encourage safety on the work in the workplace. I was able to convince the board to move ahead with a drug-free workplace. Um,
So that was quite a bit that you did, and that's impressive also. So that was 2009 up until this point, or
Up
just
until this point, there are many things that I could say, small things that I've done to move the city forward. Um, and understand that is a very important position. You're not going to please everyone, but what you have to do is take the facts and information that you have available to you and make the best possible answer or decision.
Okay, wonderful. So, what is it that have actually occurred? What happened? Because a lot of people are not aware. Some people maybe read the newspaper, and then other people hear information word of mouth. So, from you, what exactly happened?
Again, I wish I had all the answers. Understand that we're still in a society where a educated, qualified black male is a threat to many of the white males who may be in authority. Therefore, as an educated, well learned, experienced individual, there were those on the board who did not appreciate it, would not accept my recommendations, did not accept things that I would tell them as the truth. I didn't have anything to hide. I was always upfront, told them what I thought, and understand that job requires you to tell the board at times what they like, what they wanted to hear. Then there were times you had to tell them what they didn't want to hear. And understand that even in our society, there is still the white element that does not like a black person telling them, you can't do this, you're wrong. So I constantly had to deal with that element as I sat there in that job.
Do you feel that the prior administration had that issue as well?
No, no, the prior administration allowed me, under the Zach Patterson administration, he allowed me to be the city administrator, to do my job. He may not have liked the way I did it, he may not have liked the decisions I made, but I was allowed to do my job.
Wonderful. So, where do you feel that where is the situation going from here?
Well, I don't even know how we got to that situation because, you know, there was a perception. Some people say perception is 90% of the truth. Perception is that there was a meeting before the meeting because the night that I was terminated on April the 14th, we completed the regular agenda for the board, and the mayor asked, was there anything else come before the board? And Selectman Tommy McKenzie made a motion to amend the agenda, and it was a second by Ted Tullis, and then he stated what he wanted to do. Well, it caught the black selectors by surprise. I worked, or the city administrator worked for the board, not a segment of the board, the board. So therefore, if there was a discussion or supposed to have been a discussion about my termination, it should have been there between the board. It did not exist. It only existed among the white segment of that board. Okay. So Selectman Brock made the motion to go into executive session. The law allows you to go into executive session to discuss personnel matters. It was seconded by Selectman Hill. Uh, the vote was carried. It was 3-3. The mayor voted not to go into executive session. Well, that stunned me then. That let me know, perception again, that they had already made up their mind. The white segment, which is also a Republican segment of our board. The mayor, Tommy McKenzie explanation was that I worked at the will of the board. Yes, every appointee, every department head works at the will of the board. Okay, but my thing is, I was never called in as a board, discuss my job performance. I was never told that I did things wrong. Everything that I did was for the best or for the betterment of the city. Again, everybody may not agree with the decisions that I've made, but those decisions were decisions and they have proved to be for the betterment of the city. Um, well, from there, uh, the mayor stated because of differences of opinion, what I stated. The meeting before, it was clear the mayor was advocating, recommending TE Lots to come in and do an evaluation of our internal controls. TE Lot is a CPA firm. We already had two CPA firms working with the city. This would have been a third CPA firm. One CPA firm, one of its job was to test our internal controls. Now you need a second party to come in and test our internal controls. Yes, that to me was a waste of time and a waste of taxpayers' money. But the mayor didn't see it like that. The mayor saw it as uh, that I was not going to perform the job. The mayor never informed the board that I moved forward. When the board voted to do that, I did everything that I was supposed to do. As soon as the company TE Lot received their letter of engagement, he contacted me that Thursday. I was interviewing that Thursday. That Friday, I emailed him back. We began to communicate. I sent him everything that he requested. I was the one who set up the date and the time they were come to City Hall. I did all that to comply with what the board had voted that we would do. So, like I say, I wish I had all the answers. I don't have all the answers. But part of my problem is that this is a white segment of our board. And this white segment of our board made a decision among themselves.
Do you feel that historically in this area that this has occurred numerous times? Is that the fact?
I mean, whether you want to call it racism, whether you want to call it prejudices, yes, in this area, McComb, Pike County, Mississippi, the hotbed of the civil rights movement in the 60s, yes, this has happened in the past. It has not just happened uh, uh, yesterday, it has happened many times in the past.
What do you think would be a really good solution now to move forward? How can we move forward from this?
Well,
Not just as a Republican or Democratic or independent county, but not just as a black or white and Indian county. How can we move forward together?
first of all, we have to eliminate the selectman at large position. Our city is divided equally among 5 wards. The mayor is that large person. That selectman at large dilute the minority voting strength, that one man, one vote. So we need to get rid of that or eliminate that selectman at large position. That way we have 5 wards, each one represented, and that way you have one mayor and he represents the entire city. That way you do not dilute the vote of the minority.
Okay, very good. I appreciate you, Mr. Lockley, for taking out your time to come and sit and talk with us. Is there anything else you would like to share with the people of this area?
I would like for us to know that racism, we may not want to talk about it, we may not want to discuss it, we may not uh, want to believe that it still exists, but it does. And we have seen this over and over again in our national politics, our state politics, and now it's trickling down to our local politics. Let us realize that racism is still a part of our society. Let us take the blinders off, let us realize that, and let us recognize it when it happens.
Thank you, Mr. Lockley. I appreciate you for that closing statement. And this is The Informer.